What's up, and welcome to this week's To Whom It May Concern the podcast. I'm Ariel.
And I'm your girl, Kim K.
And we got quite a show this week. We've got to talk about hair, and we are talking about monogamy, but whether or not it's toxic.
Right.
All right, Kim, where you want to start?
Let's start off with the hair because the back report is gonna be good.
It's gonna be good. Okay, so you know I've been struggling with hair. So I was locked for like 4 years, and then suddenly I was like, nope, I'm done being locked.
Right.
I chopped it all off, and it was like they were damaged. I had bleached them to the point to where they were just snapping, breaking. It was time to cut them off, and I was cool with a fade until I tried to fade myself, and that went sideways very, very quickly. Okay. But my sisters and I, which all of my sisters right now are natural, don't have a relaxer. One, it just sort of happened via the pandemic because she couldn't go to the hair salon anymore. Right. The others of us have chosen it. Two of my sisters are starting the locking process of their hair. But we were talking about like, okay, are we going back to the relaxer, or are we going to just like texturize it to where it does not change the curls per se, but loosens them? Everything I read, and it's like, well, can you still consider yourself natural?
And the answer is no.
No, but does it matter?
I don't think it matters. It's your preference, but if you, this is how I think about things when it comes to what we do to our bodies, our scalp, us as individuals. There's a lot of chemicals out there. Yeah. And if you're a healthy person, it's like you kind of contradicting yourself.
As like, above, so below.
Right.
That like whatever you put on your skin ends up in your skin.
Right.
And I agree with that. And I think because I think I'm just trying to find like an easy way to manage my hair, but at the same time it's like I think I have an unrealistic expectation that it's not going to take an extra few minutes because our culture is it should only take you a split second to.
And that's not true.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. I know where you're going. Why that has become a thought. It's for to be easy.
To be easy.
Right.
Because having locks was so low maintenance. I got up. I took the bonnet off and I went about my day. And now it's like I got to take a few extra minutes to
do what? Because your hair is still short.
Well, detangle it and manipulate it into a style that, you know.
I thought short hair was easy.
It is, but I'm at that funky little phase where it's like it's too short to really do something to, but it's too short to not do anything.
What about
but it's not
styles?
Yeah.
Like you got now.
Like I have now, which of course but you know.
You like to change your hair a lot too.
I do.
Which is so weird.
Because this has only been in for a week and I had something else in last week. Right. But like, I kind of change it pretty often.
And I'm opposite. Like I go for long-term hairdos. For one, because I don't want heat in my hair. I don't want to damage it. Yeah. For two, I'm gray. So it's like my hair is stubborn because I am gray. So I go for protective style, something that's gonna last at least a month. If it can go a month and a half, I'm happy.
And it's funny that you say that I change my hair a lot because I think I change it so much because I'm looking for the thing that I can hold on to long term, and I don't feel like that's realistic. Like when I had locks, like once I locked it, like that was it. I could leave that just like that long term, and if I wanted to style it, great. But if I didn't, like,
you didn't have to.
And I'm looking for that again, but that's not realistic outside of that hair phase.
Right. It's not. So it's just one of those things you're gonna either have to suck up and deal with, or you're gonna go against the grain.
Which I mean, we all know me. I love going against the grain.
She always go against the grain. So I mean,
I think it's becoming comfortable going against the grain here because this is a brand new avenue. So figuring out like, you know, where we go from here.
End of the world. But I don't want to hear a month from now. This texturizer got my scalp doing this and this and that happened, and I gotta go to the dermatologist because this happened. Because of this and
that is my fear, and I think that's why I have not committed to it because it's like I don't know what it's going to like. This is the greatest texture my hair has ever been, and I don't want to mess with it. But at the same time, I think I'm the queen of overthinking is overthinking.
Yes, always overthinking. But this is the thing.
The queen of doing too much is doing too much.
What would our ancestors do?
Ooh.
They didn't think about
none of that. No.
And they was beautiful with their shit all over their head.
Right.
To To be honest.
And I think it didn't change until we got to that spot where we were like working in the house,
and
then you had to look a certain way, and in order, and the standard was this
straight.
Yes, and that's where
down.
the whole process with Madam C.J. Walker was like, let's figure this out. Which, by the way, she did not create the perm or the relaxer.
No, she didn't.
It was a different process.
Right.
But it was something similar to what we use today. Right. When I found that out, I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's wild, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I guess hers was more like a text lax thing.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't a full relaxer.
It wasn't a full relaxer.
Right. So, there's the hair thing.
The more you know.
The more you know, you girl.
All right, so now we switch gears, and we talk about monogamy.
Yes. But
not in the sense of like basic tradition, because we don't do basic tradition, but maybe more so
can it be toxic?
And I say hell yes.
Yeah, I agree.
I think a lot of what we have learned about partnerships is, here we go again with the word unrealistic. Because I feel like as me, I don't know that I necessarily want to do monogamy in the next relationship I'm in. I don't know that I want that.
Let's define monogamy first.
Okay. Oh.
Because a lot of people don't even really understand the term. They make their own definition of it.
And you know what? I think that everything, like, the one of the most revolutionary things I ever heard was in this communication class, comm theory, was words don't have meaning until people give them meaning.
That's true.
And I feel like we should be flexible enough to give words meaning, like monogamy. Like, what does it mean to you in your individual relationship?
So what does it mean to you?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I've always thought it meant, of course, man and woman, partners, that's it. No
Nobody
more
else.
Intimate relationships, this and this and that. But we kind of just talked off the screen that intimate relationships does not mean it has to be sexual.
Yes, and they also don't have to be romantic.
Right.
Like, I have several platonic intimate relationships, and I think, again, we talk so much about romantic relationships, and in fact, even the word love, when you hear the word love, you automatically just associate it with romance and call it a day.
Right, and that's so far from the truth.
So far from the truth.
Because I love my friends. I love the shit out of my friends. Like, people may think it's weird, but I love my friends.
Yes.
And when people speak the word love, some people, I really don't think they know the real definition and who it should apply to. You know what I'm saying?
What it really looks like in action.
In action. And it's not just for romantic relationships.
Yeah.
Like, love is love.
Love is love. You know what? I used to hate the word love. And it's funny because, like, I'm even going back thinking about, like, I was like, man, I had to be about 13 or 14 years old. And I had, like, this t-shirt that said love, and I hated the shirt because it said love.
Really?
And I hated the word love.
My daughter, like, one time her friend told her, I love you, treasure. And she was like, I was like, I said, as you get older, you'll understand. I said, she kind of already understand. I was like, it's okay to love your friends. Those are your friends. Like, when you think of it, a person that you love or love you, that's somebody that's loyal, reliable, going to be there, you can depend on, things of that nature.
As Bell Hooks defined it, as somebody that you invest in mentally, emotionally, and spiritually.
Correct.
Like, that was the first time I think I actually understood love. Because before then, like, I'm a very logical person. I needed to scientifically make sense in order for me to be okay with it. So, like, I bullshit you not. Like, after being divorced, I was like, okay, we're gonna figure out what love is.
Right.
And so, like, I was reading books, essays, articles, studies. I know that sounds ridiculous to most people, but for me, like, that was the process that made the most sense. I need to find these scholar articles about love and what it was, and not just on a romantic level, but like all of the layers of what love was. And that was the one that made the most sense to me. For the first time, I felt like I understood what love was. Right. And I could go back in my life and see who was loved and who was not, and who needed to go. Right. Or maybe even be repositioned. Because I now use phrases like, I have friends, and I have deep acquaintances, and then I have acquaintances. Yep. And then everybody follows suit.
Yeah.
And there are some times where friends become deep acquaintances and then eventually just become acquaintances.
Right. It does. It can, and it can change. It change based on growth and where you are in life, and where that person either is going or has it's stuck. You know what I'm saying? So I did not used to understand when my dad used to always tell me, when I was in school, like middle school, you don't got no damn friends. You have associates. You ain't got no damn friends. And I used to be like, what are you talking about?
It will break your heart,
They're
wouldn't it?
my friends.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand, but of course, damn sure now at 40, I understand.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers were my
You're
friends.
really careful with that word, friend.
Yes.
Because like I used to, like up until maybe about 5 years ago, like I was a little bit more careless with the word friends. I wasn't completely careless, but I was a little careless with the word friends, and I would kind of like just define everybody as a friend as long as I interacted with them regularly.
And that don't mean shit.
Like there were people that I worked with, I was like, oh yeah, that's friend, that's family. And it's like,
no. Right.
No.
Right.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
So we all made that make sense, but even when we come back to monogamy, seeing as how love does not have to be romantic, does monogamy now take on a different form as being unromantic? Or is that a term that basically stays in romantic context?
Yes and no. Because, like, example, you're out with your mate. There's a woman by herself. Can't pick up a chair or something like that. I'm not the woman to say, you better not help that bitch pick that shit up. I'm not her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you got those toxic monogamy situations.
Yeah.
His ass ain't gonna go pick it up. Because she said, you better not go pick that shit up.
And I think I would almost be watching my partner to see, are you gonna go over there and pick that chair up? Let me see who you are as a person. Show me who you are.
Right.
Because if you don't go over there and pick that chair up, now I know that you are not your people's keeper.
Exactly.
You're not your people's keeper, my babe.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
So that's the toxic part of it. That's the toxic shit. Because you that insecure in a situation where you don't even want him to go help a woman do something that she need help with. That's crazy.
I think another toxic thing is these checklists that we have. And a lot of times, you know where we get these checklists from?
Where?
The church.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
This is what it is to be a woman. And this is what it is to be a wife. And this is what it is to be a husband.
Other unrealistic shit that
and
they ain't
it is
doing.
messy. That Proverbs 31 woman.
Okay. Okay.
I promise you, like, reading that text, and I can't remember who it was that kind of broke that text down, and they were like, at some point even she rested because she wasn't always cooking, cleaning,
that shit don't
running
exist.
behind her husband. Like we've taken that whole passage and with our toxic doctrine made it something different, and it's like babe, even she laid down. Because at some point she rose up, but even she laid down. And she had help because she had servants.
Exactly.
So homegirl wasn't doing this alone. Homegirl had a village. So it wasn't me being, running behind my husband all day long, giving. And then they also like to use you got to submit to your husbands because there's that passage. But it's like if Jesus also submitted to the church, who was his bride.
Exactly.
Can we have that part
it's submission on both sides.
Right. It was
but everybody they always make it the woman's job only to submit, and that's also unrealistic. Everybody got to submit.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely.
Like,
and I think it is, especially when it comes to like leadership, we automatically go, okay, the man is the head of the household. But what does that mean, and what does that look like? Because for me, teachers are also students, and leaders are also followers. Like it's a duality.
Right, it is.
In that. And it's not just like I'm the head.
Right.
And I don't never, because you might be the lead on the physical labor that happens in this house. And I might be
the lead on
the financial shit that happens in this house.
Exactly. So I always say we don't follow. We walk side by side. Because the shit it's a team effort, it's a partnership. Because it's gonna be some shit you weak on, and I'm strong on.
Agree.
And it's gonna be the opposite. Some shit he's strong on and I'm weak on.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I also feel like we don't individualize intimacy enough. Like we get this average idea and just take that and apply it to everybody. We have one romantic experience, and then from that day forward, it's like, oh, this is one, and this, and I come back to, and I use this example often of, there was this one guy I was talking to, and he wanted to buy me flowers, and I was like, I don't really like flowers. Like, if you ever paid attention to me, you would know to like buy me a book, because that's the equivalent of buying me a flower.
Right.
Or, you know, whatever. Right. But and trying to explain that to him, and his idea was, well, women like flowers. I'm not that girl. I have a reason why I don't like flowers, and I just explained it to you, and now you over here telling me I need to change my mind about it, and I'm like, no. And what I just said was, I don't want that, and then you turn around and tell me I should be grateful
for something you don't even want.
I don't want.
That's crazy.
Why would I do that? That is wild.
And you should not.
And I should not. So again, that comes back to, you didn't individualize my intimacy. You just assumed that if it worked before for another woman, it would work now.
And
I even feel like we do that with sex.
Yep. So far from the truth.
So far from the truth. Like, you have yet to have a conversation with me about what my desires and pleasures are.
What I like. And
you came in penetrating me like you penetrated the last.
And that's the craziest thing. And I've learned that, you know, recently. You should be asked, or you should tell what you like sexually. Because what worked for the last one
may not work for you.
So it's like, you can't.
And if you can't have a conversation with the person that you screwing, you shouldn't be screwing them.
Exactly. Don't have that weak ass position over here.
Exactly. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm not a missionary girl.
Right.
But yeah, here we are.
Right.
Having missionary sex.
Exactly.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. What are some other things that you find in monogamy that just seem messy? I'm so cautious about the word toxic, because I feel like everything is like toxic and narcissist
everybody
are overused. And not that they aren't like legitimate terms, they just feel like ugh.
Yeah. But some of the shit is toxic. But I think toxic is overused. But let's see, what else?
I don't know. Like I haven't had a whole lot of experience actually dating at this point, which is short of. Like, I realized, like, I have never been on a date. I went on a date once.
Really?
I had a guy actually ask me on a date once. And ever since then, like, I just always end up giving somebody my number, and the next day I'm their girlfriend. But they never take me on a date.
Really?
It is the wildest thing. And I thought that I was alone in that. And I have said that to other women. They're like, you know what? Yeah. It's like I meet you today, and tomorrow I'm your girlfriend. You never took me on a date.
Somebody tried to push that on me.
Or
and it was a Gemini. And I was like, you crazy as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, you got my number yesterday and I'm your girlfriend today? Hell
yeah.
No, I don't know nothing about you.
And then I would feel trapped. Like I got to figure out how to get out of this. And that was like one of the biggest things. Like the last guy I talked to, I was like, he asked me something about red flags. And I was like, my biggest red flag is if I feel like I have to find a way to escape this relationship, then I already know it's time to go.
Oh, yeah.
If I feel trapped and locked in to a relationship, especially in the first week, I don't ever want to do that again. Trying to figure out how to escape. But
hey buddy.
I want to be dated.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. It feels good to be dated.
It does.
It really does. Especially when they pay attention.
See, and it's like why I think that's part of the issue of monogamy, because I've run into a lot of gentlemen, especially I guess because we're in our 30s now, I don't know, who say stuff like, I'm dating with a purpose. The fuck does that even mean? You're dating with a purpose?
Baby.
What is the purpose? The purpose is marriage. But so are you like just looking for a wife, or are you looking for me as a wife?
Right.
And I don't think you're looking for me as a wife, because my God, you just met me.
But this is the thing. I think this is where people mess up at.
Yeah.
Expectations.
Oh.
Like, fuck. Just date.
So is it unrealistic to have an expectation?
I think.
Is it to an extent, or because I feel like as humans, like we're gonna have an expectation.
You're gonna have them, but there's the biggest. That's where you open yourself up for disappointment.
Okay.
In that sense.
So maybe more make those expectations flexible.
I mean, you can. I just think when people first start dating, they should just let the shit flow.
Yeah. You're
gonna see.
Yeah.
What you're not gonna like, if it's gonna work or not. Just let it flow. Don't put any expectations on it. A lot of people do that, and they set themselves up for disappointment.
Yeah.
Expect nothing, appreciate everything.
Because some of the other things, and I just thought about this, because like there was this guy that I was talking to at one point, and my expectation going in was him calling me every day, all day, because that was how it always happened. And while I hated it, it was something I was used to. And when he didn't do that, it made me very insecure, because I was like, well, does he like me or not? And his thing was like, I'm busy.
Right.
I don't want to sit on the phone all day.
Right.
Do you want to sit on the phone all day? I don't. But I guess you sitting on the phone with me all day reassures me that you like me. But I feel like that is another part of toxic monogamy. That idea of if they wanted to, they would. But you literally came into the middle of this person's life happening.
Right. Right.
Why do you think that they're going to redirect all their attention to you immediately?
And have a fucking life.
And have a life outside of your people. Outside of your romantic people.
Right. Because I'll be busy as shit too. But I find the time when necessary to do what I need to do with whomever I'm dating.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm running a damn business. I'm a parent.
Yeah.
Dance mom, flag mom. I got a lot of shit going on. So no, I can't sit on the phone with you all day.
Whether it's and even too, like going back to like some of those our favorite little videos when it's like, oh, you can't have no other friends but me. Like that is messy too. That is messy as shit. And I think we laugh at those videos, but the first step to normalizing some silly shit is to laugh at it.
And that shit is not funny. Like I have different sets of friends.
Yeah.
And nobody gets mad at me when I'm with whatever set of friends.
Right.
I don't get mad with my friends that have different sets of,
yeah.
Damn. We all more than likely went from different schools and all that. So you got different friends everywhere.
Different levels of life.
But you got grown ass women who really get mad when you hang with your other friends.
Which is wild. Or they feel like you haven't given them enough attention and you ain't even called to check on me. And I'm like, again, my life has been happening. Have you called to check on me?
Right.
And see if maybe I have spiraled out of control, and maybe I haven't called you because I'm under the bed crying listening to Mary J. Blige.
You don't know what's going on with me either.
You have yet to ask me, but you gonna text me and tell me I'm acting funny.
That's crazy as hell.
It is.
That's crazy.
It is. So I almost wonder, like, if that is I almost like considered non-romantic monogamy.
Yep, it is. It is.
Which again is messy.
And we just outlined the messy part of it. When people, that's pure definition of when friends don't know how to be friends. You have a lot of that. People do not know how to be friends.
Yeah.
I don't have to talk to you every day.
But we can pick up where we left off like it was
nothing happened.
Yeah.
I have a friend that I've been friends with since first grade. We haven't seen each other since June. We text every now and then. How we saw each other in June was at the recital. But before her cousin's daughter started dancing, I hadn't seen her in years.
Yeah.
And we just text.
Yeah.
We haven't hung out in forever.
And you know what? I have a friend just like that. Her and I have been friends since my freshman year of college. I think that's when I took comm theory. That was when her and I met. And so this is like a well over a decade worth of friendship. And her and I see each other here and there. We talk to each other often. Most of the time it's on Instagram. And other people will see that relationship and be like,
when did that happen?
That's not a real friendship. Y'all only really talk to each other on Instagram. Sometimes y'all text each other and send each other funny TikToks. But it's like, we are actually invested in each other's life.
Right.
Again, showing each other love on a physical, spiritual, and emotional level. Like, I know she got me, I got her. And that's not just when stuff is messy, but when stuff is good too. Like, we giggle as much as we cry. This is a relationship, but this is an adult relationship because, again, life is happening.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that I don't intentionally make time for her, but life is happening.
Yeah. It's happening. It's not going to stop happening.
No.
It continues. It goes on.
Yeah.
24/7.
So again, to have the expectation of anybody,
mm-hmm.
you know, again, that goes back to that toxic monogamy of this person should
do X, Y, Z.
Yes.
One,
and if
two,
they
three.
don't, this is what this means. Like, we cannot make it that black and white. Like, if they don't hit me up, then that must mean that they don't want to, or they don't like me, or they are not interested, or why don't you ask them shit?
Right.
Or why don't you hit them up?
Right.
Why I always got to hit you up first? Well, hell, it doesn't matter why you're keeping score.
Exactly. It can be weird, messy, toxic.
Why are you keeping score? Like, it doesn't matter if you always are the person that hits them up first.
Hmm.
Am I the only person who finds that weird?
No, it's weird as shit.
Yeah.
Like you said, who's taking score?
Right.
Who cares? Just long as when you need me, I'm there.
Yeah.
Long as when I check on you, long as you check on me, who gives a damn who do it first, last? Who cares?
How long it's been, all of that.
None of that matters.
No.
Like, none of that matters. So, if you see the toxic trait in romantic and non-romantic monogamy. And there you have it.
And there you have it. I think we did good.
That was interesting. That was interesting.
Yeah, cause that just kind of followed a bunch of avenues and paths.
Right.
Good job, sis. All right, well, that has been this episode of To Whom This May Concern, the podcast. Remember, we are on all social outlets at the number 2, Whom This May Concern, the podcast. We're also on YouTube, so make sure you find us there.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe and watch us.
Yay, thanks.
Have a great day.